On today's show, Baker on the market. What's going on? Which team is he playing for? And why aren't the 49ers making this move? Meanwhile, Lamar's hurt. Ravens say he's week to week. Why one NFL legend says he should basically shut it down. And finally, it's the recruiting process that will never end. It's Odell at the Mavs. I mean,
they reek of desperation, and you don't need
That's
to.
what I said. It's just a tease, but we're giving you takes already.
But at least they got to watch Luka. You know what I mean?
Luka had to recruit him too.
Yeah, well, Luka's got more important things at hand. Most notably, getting the Mavericks above 500.
I was about
they
to
gotta
say,
get it
I'm
together.
glad you went there.
But we start today's show with another chapter of the comeback adult. Brady comes back from 13 down, 3 minutes left in the fourth. Delivers a strike to White with 3 seconds left. It's the latest touchdown pass of his career, figuratively and literally. Here he is after the game.
Just like we drew it up. Just like we drew it up. You know, at the end of the day, our guys made the plays this week, and Mike made plays, Chris made plays, Cade made plays, Rashad made plays, Lenny made plays, Julio made some great plays. Everyone contributed. So it's a hard team to beat, and just glad we won. It was they got a great defense. They played us very physical like we thought. We made some mistakes in there, but we made enough plays in the end to win.
Sure. A lot of people making plays for 17 points. Nick?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you now?
Can somebody finish this team off? It's not my problem because my team's in the AFC.
You fear, though. He's the last guy you want to see in the Super Bowl.
The entire NFC has to be devastated with the incompetence of the Rams a few weeks ago and the fighting Dennis Allens, whatever the hell that was last night.
All right.
Because this team now is not only not dead, this team is as guaranteed to be in the playoffs as the Eagles and the Vikings. And last night that could have changed. You had Brady disobeying a direct order from Todd Bowles, an odd little standoff about we're punting. No, we're not. I'm staying out here. Well, I'm sending the punter out there anyway. So they were dead. Mark Ingram, I understand he's playing through an injury, just has to not run out of bounds. Or the Saints have to go for it on a fourth down. Or they have to not do a prevent.
That doesn't work. That doesn't seem to work.
No, you watched the Rams die this way a few weeks ago.
Teams do it week after week.
Well, they got to stop.
It's ridiculous.
You got to stop holding the Tom Brady Bucs to 3 points for 55 minutes doing one thing and then changing it.
I'm with you.
Because here's what I know. I know that Tampa is going to go into the playoffs. Can we show their schedule? They're going to lose the next couple weeks. It doesn't matter. They're going to go into the playoffs on a bit of a winning streak because they have the Cardinals, they have the Panthers, they have the Falcons. And then they're going to be hosting some NFC East team, and they're going to beat them because they have a great defense and they have that guy. They're going to get a critical call late in the game as they did last night. Last night they deserved it, but whether you deserve it or not, if you have Brady, you're going to get one. And then the other team is going to just melt down in the face of Brady. And he's never going to leave. So, yeah, it's just, it's just so frustrating. He should be gone.
Well, let me get to the bottom of it.
Sure, let's go.
Because Nick clearly is scared.
No.
The last thing he wants.
Sick of it.
The last thing you want, Nick, is Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs.
No, I would love that.
Against Tom Brady and the Buccaneers.
I would actually love that just because it's the only way for Mahomes to get even.
But do you think he would?
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, but let's not make this about the Chiefs.
Because you seem to be very scared.
No,
Why?
This
the
is about
Bucs
Michael
are not
Myers.
good. The Bucs are not good.
They're not good.
Nick, it was sensational. It was another Brady moment. It was tremendous. But they are not a good team.
So what?
They'll make the playoffs. And you're right. The NFC is becoming kind of a joke. But they're not beating Philly. You mentioned an NFC East team. They're not beating Philadelphia in the playoffs.
Do you think they could beat Dallas? It's going to be the
Dallas's ceiling is as high as, maybe higher than anybody in the NFC. But here's the problem with Dallas. They are more likely than any contender to hit their floor. On any given playoff Sunday, they might come out there and play at their floor level, and that's when a Tampa Bay team could beat them. But, Nick, look, Tampa Bay, let me count the ways.
Go.
They should have come out with an impressive performance last night, and they scraped by the hair in their chinny chin chin. It was in Tampa, number one. Number two, you were facing a 4-win team that had lost 3 of its last 4. Number three, Andy Dalton, who hasn't been good for half a decade, was the opposing quarterback.
That's
Number
Jameis.
4,
That was a little Jameis.
you're
darn
darn right. Jameis should have been out there.
Number 4, you better say
you're
Dennis
coming
Allen.
off a bad loss.
Yeah, terrible.
To the Browns and Jacoby Brissett. And number 5, it's that time of year.
Yeah.
Like, this is when the Buccaneers should be like, we are gearing up. We go through the whole 17 for the playoffs coming around the corner. And they still, with all those reasons, couldn't do anything. Couldn't play well.
I'm working with Jamie Lee Curtis over here. You don't see the Michael Myers.
No.
You can say he's dead. They could have chopped his head off last night. They didn't. And he's going to come back to bite you.
You're being catfished.
I'm being catfished.
Yeah, you're being catfished.
Okay, explain.
The Bucs are a catfish team. They look good. They sound good.
Well,
Yeah, they look good. Show the graphic. You look at this team like, ooh, that team looks good. Oh my goodness. And then you dig down a little bit deeper. You take off the makeup. Worst passer rating than Andy Dalton for Tom Brady. That's not good. How about the wide receivers? 3rd fewest yards per reception. How about the running backs? Only team with less than 100 rushing yards. They average 18 points a game. 18 points a game.
great.
Why are you
Can I
scared?
show you
That's
a
right,
better
18
graphic?
points a game.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, because here's what I know about playoff football. It's very good to have a great defense or a very good defense, and it's really good to have a quarterback that you can trust. So I can't show you the graphic, but I can tell you this.
Okay.
Here are the playoff teams. In the
I have a
NFC,
graphic. We can show it to you.
you've got the number 1 seed Jalen Hurts. He's 0-1 in his playoff career. That came against Tom Brady and the Bucs last year. Then you have Kirk Cousins. He's 1-2 in his playoff career. Then the 3 seed right now is Brock Purdy. He's 0-0 in his playoff career. Then there's Brady. The 5 seed's Dak. The 6th seed is Geno Smith, and the 7th seed is Taylor Heineke. So and I might have had one of those mistaken.
6th seed is Daniel Jones.
Yeah, you forgot Daniel Jones.
Okay, Daniel Jones or Taylor Heineke, one of them.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that the rest of the NFC playoff quarterbacks combined, I believe, have a lifetime playoff record of 3-5. Tom Brady's 36-12. He has as good of a defense as anyone in the conference other than San Francisco and Dallas. You're telling me that team that you're going to feel good about any of those quarterbacks, any of them, going on the road against Tom Brady? Because that's the other thing with the silly format where winning the division doesn't just get you a playoff berth, it gets you a home game. You're going to feel confident if the Eagles lose a couple times, and one of them's to Dallas, and they lose that tiebreak in their division, they're 14-3. But because of the way the playoffs work, Dallas also 14-3, and they win the NFC East. You're telling me you don't think Philly would go into that game anxious? The same place they got their ass kicked last year.
Look, I hear you, but there's really only, and their defense is pretty good, Tampa. But there's really only one reason to believe in him the way you do. Never count out Tom Brady.
Well,
that's it.
That's fine.
But that's history.
Never count out Tom Brady.
He does
with
not
a
look
great
very
defense.
good this year.
No, but guys, how many times do we have to see the same story? That the defense keeps them in it. They should have lost that game by 3 touchdowns to Dennis Allen, and they won. And they won it twice.
I know, but it's not the defense. The story of the Bucs Super Bowl run was this awesome, explosive offense.
No, that's not how No, I disagree with you.
Tom Brady throwing 45 touchdowns?
No,
you don't think that? I understand the defense was good, but it was Tom Brady and Mike Evans and Gronkowski and Antonio Brown.
The offense is a shell of what it used to be.
They're not scoring points.
I'm not saying I think the Bucs are the best team in the league. I'm not saying I'm picking them to make.
You think they're the best in the NFC?
No, I don't. No. But I think that the idea, if the question is the rest of the NFC, if the Bucs are this bad team, how do you think the coaches and GMs of every other NFC playoff team was watching that game? Do you think they were like, oh, sweet, they're going to get in? That's good. That team, I don't know if you've seen it, but Kevin Wiles told me they can't run the ball, and Mike Evans and Tom Brady haven't been good this year. Let's get this, thank God they're in there. Or do you think every other NFC team watched that game the way I did? Like, you've got to be kidding me that this team is still alive.
I'll give you that. But I'm baffled, Nick, that you thought they weren't going to make the playoffs. I don't mean weeks ago. I mean last night. Even if they had lost that game, I think they're winning that division.
Oh, if they lose
it's that bad.
Game, if they lose that game, the Saints are right there, and their next two are against San Francisco and Cincinnati. Instead, I feel like that game is such a crushing emotional blow for the Saints. I don't think that they can recover.
I agree with that. They're not that good either.
All right, let's dig into this game-winning drives debate. We discussed this in the morning meeting, and it got heated, so stay with us. Brady sets the record, 44th career fourth quarter.